Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this transfer report claiming that Barcelona are set to make a move for this 18-year-old Brazilian prodigy, Vitor Roque, after exit operations have been carried out. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking on this other story claiming that Barca ex-president rejected 70 million rated Alfonso Davis for being Canadian. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona have a priority list prepared for the summer transfer window as they look to reinforce the team for next season. The Catalans have the green light from La Liga already to start their transfer operations, starting with exits. Xavi Hernandez has already talked about the need to sign a pivot midfielder before anything else, followed by other positions such as central midfielder, right back, left wing, and also center forward. Why signing a striker is far from a priority, Barcelona still want to add depth to that position as Robert Lewandowski is one left without a second choice option in the squad. Secondly, with Lewandowski turning 35 this year, they will need to sort out a long-term replacement for the Pole. Their first choice option for that role is Brazilian teenager Vitor Roque. Why they considered it difficult to move for the player this summer? Now it is being reported by Sport that Barcelona are ready to make a move for him in the summer. They will actively pursue the player after completing the exit operations from the squad so as to raise enough money to pay for his 40 million euro plus valuation. Roque has received or has convinced Barcelona's coaching staff and has the approval of the technical staff and the scouting department, including directors Matteo Alemani and Deco. The club bet on him strongly and believe his technical and physical attributes can help him mark an era at the club. Still only 18, Vitor Roque will serve as Lewandowski's backup in his first season and will eventually be promoted to take over the role one day. The player believes he is already ready to play for the club and is ready for the transfer to Europe. He said, I feel ready to play for Barcelona. Look, I try to stay focused on the day-to-day and give my best at Atletico. I'm sure that if I do well here in my club, going to Europe will be a possibility. Of course, those are the words from a guy who wants to join Barca. Those are the words of a guy who is doing all he can to see that he comes to Europe and play European football as any player on earth will aspire to do so. Vitor Roque has been putting on numbers, and if you see multiple clubs showing interest in him, it means there's a lot that this guy has on his shoulders. And of course, Barcelona have been long linked with Vitor Roque as they see him as a player who can carry the team for such a long time. The talent he portrays is unquestionable. Vitor Roque himself is really pleased with the fact that clubs such as Barca are showing interest, and he have never hide his feelings. One good thing about him is he has never hide his feelings about the interest that Barca have been showing him, and also talked about the fact that Barca is a club that he really wants to play for, which give Barca the upper hand. But looking at the perspective of the financial situation we are currently going through, can we be able to bring Vitor Roque? Because I think bringing this guy will console a lot of Barca fans, especially after losing on Messi, after giving us false hopes on Messi, which didn't come to pass. Exactly like what happened to when Messi left disappointingly 2 years ago when they said he will renew his contract, but he didn't. So it was just so disappointing. And of course, Laporta needs to know that he needs to do some big, good marquee transfer that can bring some joy to the fan side. At least, I think the board should know that a signing should be done at least that can make many of the Barca fans forget about Messi's signing or Messi's disappointing departure or snubbing Barca to Inter Miami. And I think that would be a great transfer summer if Barca can do just that. But if they don't do that, if they make Barca fans still grumbling about the fact that Laporta still made Messi not to come to Barca despite saying La Liga have approved blah 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 and stuff like that, it's going to bring a lot of disgruntledness, and that's not what is good for this club. Hoping that we can do our transfer business successfully in the summer window so that it will be a great season to watch. Because we need strengthening in the pivot, we need strengthening at right back, we need strengthening at left wing, and most importantly, we need strengthening at as the striker, as Vitor Roque is the number one choice for Xavi Hernandez and the board in order to look for a backup for Robert Lewandowski, who have played majority of the season all alone and done not reliable backup there, even though we have players like Ansu and Ferran Torres who can play striker, but that is not their ideal position. Then on to the next story of discussion, facing the consequences of Bartomeu's disorderly reign to this day. Barcelona continue to pick up their ashes as they look to reclaim their throne as a respectable institution. After the introduction of Joan Laporta's board, they carried out an audit to investigate the reasons for the club's potential bankruptcy. Payments without cause, payments with a false cause, or disappropriate payments were found by the previous hierarchy. In a recent revelation, further evidence regarding Bartomeu's mismanagement has been unearthed. Alfonso Davis told Say Less podcast that Barcelona reached out to him before he even took his talents to Bayern Munich. He said, Barca approached me, but their president Bartomeu didn't want me because I'm from Canada. I won't lie. It kind of crushed my feelings, he said. Alfonso has established himself as one of the world's best fullbacks, having won all there is to be won at club level with the Bavarians. Despite his Canadian heritage, the speedster has transformed into a remarkable footballer who has the entirety of Europe drooling over his abilities. With his recent quote surfacing, it seems that this is the one that slipped away from Barca's hands owing to an unsurprising lapse in judgment from President that stared the club into economic crisis. Alfonso is coming on the back of an impressive season, securing the Bundesliga title and recording 11 goals plus assists, his highest tally in the season. The Canadian international impressed with his national team in World Cup 2 as the nations is beginning to foresee an upward rise. Currently linked heavily with the move, to Real Madrid, Barca face the risk of seeing their rivals strengthen. Had they acquired the 22-year-old initially, it is not for a far-fetched or to claim the club would have enjoyed greater success in the past few years. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.